guys. Go ahead.
Looked like slight escalation for Matthew today.
Yep, absolutely. Just like we said. He's feeling good.
Went on a move there at the end.
That was he did his own number there. That wasn't the call, so looked pretty good. So it was good to have him back out there.
What was that kind of discussed before practice? We're going to amp it
No,
up a
we
bit,
actually just played it by ear. We didn't plan on him going at all. You know, what do you mean?
Well, he's got to go through individual.
Correct.
Right?
No,
and
we had.
make
This was
sure.
part of the progression plan, like I
Okay.
had talked to you guys about. So figured that he would get half of the team reps and just kind of incrementally increase him. Whether or not he practices against Houston is to be determined, just because of some of the unscheduled movements and things like that. But he looked good. He felt good, and he took a handful of reps today. That was part of the plan.
You and Kobe Turner talked a lot during the spring about him, staying true to himself. He doesn't have to be everything.
Yep.
How have you seen him, take that on, but also take on more leadership in his room?
I've just seen him be himself. I think that's what's important. He's got such a heart for people, Adam. He loves football. He works really hard at it. I think he has, you've heard me talk about the growth mindset. He definitely epitomizes that. And so I don't want him to be anybody other than himself. And I think he saw a great example of what, one of the best to ever do it, if not the best, looked like. But he's got to be himself. And there's certainly things that he'll take that he learned from his mentor in AD. But I want him to be authentic to his personality. He's got a great way about himself with people. He models the way, which I think is the most important thing, and that's what I've seen from him consistently day in and day out.
Coaches, there are still roster spots in the state of flux. As you guys get ready to go down to Houston, what are some of the things that you're looking for as you begin to fill out the roster?
Just depends on, each position has specific things. There's different requirements, but we're looking to shape out the best team. And there's a lot of things that have come into clarity, but there still are some decisions to be made relative to, the preseason game and then even another practice opportunity against the Texans. So it's all encompassing to each position.
I know we're a couple days before the preseason game, but what's your plan for who's going to call game or who's going to shoot?
It'll be the same as. Yeah.
When it comes to Fisk on these 3 joint practices, Chargers, 2 at the Cowboys, how's he grading out? How's he developing?
He's done a good job. I think when you look at it, you've seen 3 really physical offensive lines. He missed some time when he ended up, coming out of the Cowboys practice a little bit earlier. He had the blister where he didn't practice against the Chargers, and so. I thought really he had his mind right going into that last practice against the Cowboys. Those are some great interior players. Yeah. It's as good as it gets around the league, and you could see there was a focus, there was a concentration, there was a intent in terms of being great with his hands, understanding where he fits based on whatever the play was, and I was really pleased with him. He's getting better and better, and conscientious players continue to improve, and he's certainly one of them.
So is today really the last day that you guys are going to be here?
Been here before, Gary, so I wouldn't rule anything out. So, I got no idea. So if Woodland Hills is ready to roll, then this will be the last day, and if not, then we'll be back here. And I've sat here before and said, hey, it was great being here, and here we are again here. So, Artist, what do you think, man?
I feel good about it.
It makes one of us. I'm just kidding.
How did they come back for a second morning? How was the mental coming back?
They were good, Jordan. I thought they handled it well, and then I think the key thing is going to be, all right, how do we end up handling the afternoon walkthrough and the meetings where there's just a little bit different flip. But this is a really mature group, very conscientious. They do what we ask, and I'm very appreciative of how receptive they are to that. But they also understand that it's important to be able to try to get our bodies adjusted, because this will feel like a cool tent compared to what I think Thursday is going to entail. But they did a great job.
A couple more guys. What's going to be the value against going against some of the looks that Texas present offensively and defensively compared to what you've seen? So
Just that. It's different looks, and that was what was so important about, especially knowing that we were going to have a handful of guys we were going to hold out of the preseason. This ends up really being their games, their opportunity to see different techniques and fundamentals, different schemes on both sides of the football, experiment a little bit with this kickoff deal, absent of what you're really seeing in terms of how people are approaching in the preseason. So it provides a lot of benefits in that regards too.
Coach, in terms of the running back room, what are some of the things that you've seen out of them that you like? And when you consider filling out the position behind Blake and Kyrie, what are some of the things that you're looking for?
I think really just consistency. Ron Gould does such a great job with that room as a whole. You know, whatever the play is, runners, we ask a lot of those guys in terms of, we always say better backs make better blockers. And so they understand how to set those blocks. They understand how all of our alignments and how we're hitting blocks is in alignment with their landmarks and aiming points. And so I think those guys have done a really good job as a whole, being able to understand that. Where do I fit in protection? Where's my responsibilities in the pass game? And so, you know, I think, you know, all 5 of those guys have done a nice job, and Ron Gould does a great job leading the way.
Have you seen Logan Brass improve this
Yeah,
season?
I really have. You know, he's played really consistently in the preseason games. Jordan, you know, we had a big run with our first group at the end of that period right there, and he and Steve Avila were in a good combination where they got great removal and created a vertical seam. Now, need to be better defensively there, but that was a really good example of just some of the steps that he's taken. I think he's improved in his overall production as a protector. He's always had the athleticism to be productive in the run game, but again, he definitely has been a guy that I've seen improvement from.
Seems more confident, like he's enjoying practice more than.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we've talked about it, just not only for Logan, but in general. You know, you're better when you're enjoying this, and you love the challenges that accompany it, and you have the ability to act, interact, and respond the way that you want. And, you know, I've been really proud of Logan.
Last one, yes.
What does Omar Speights kind of show you?
Yeah, he's a grown man. I mean, he's, you know, like I've said before, you feel him on game day. You can have conversations with him where he understands the big picture. You know, he obviously made his presence felt in that opening kickoff coverage. It was a good job by Tanner Engel forcing it back, and then he ends up capping it off. But then he's got good concept recognition, making plays on the screen game, making plays in coverage, doing an excellent job. I've been really pleased with him. He's a mature rookie. Okay? Thanks, guys. We'll see if we're back here or not.